ray model of light. Okay? Light travels in straight lines. I'll show you this here in a second. Okay? Light travels in straight lines. So, there are two types of lenses. There are convex lenses that look like this. And there are concave lenses that look like this. I am sure I do not want to know.
It looks like me.
She said it looks like Brian.
Looks like Brian. The convex lens looks like Brian. By the way, if you're having trouble remembering which is which, concave caves in on itself. Okay, there you go. Okay, real versus virtual images. Now, we just defined what real images were. Real images form at an actual place in space, whereas virtual images only appear to. So that means that real images are going to be on the opposite side of the lens. What I mean by that is real images are going to form, light goes through lenses, right? So real images are going to be on the other side because light goes through them. So real images will form on the opposite side. So this is a real image. It formed on the opposite side of what the lens was. The lens is up there, the image is out here. That's a real image. Virtual images form on the same side. So form on the same side as the object. Okay? So real images are on the opposite side, but virtual images are on the same side. Okay, so I showed you this picture. Okay? This is the virtual image. This is a real image. Okay? That's the difference with those. Okay? The other thing, and this is actually more helpful, I think. Real images are upside down, always. And virtual images are right side up, always. If you were to look at the projector, this is actually upside down in the projector. Yeah. Projectors project it upside down, so when it goes through the lens, it flips it.
Don't babies see things upside down when they go walk?
Well, you do too, but your brain gets used to it. Yeah. Yeah, little babies see things upside down because their brain's not used to it. But after your brain gets used to it, your brain flips them. Yeah, that's why. The little penny thing that got passed around, if you look at it, the penny is upside, like, the penny direction is upside down what it actually is inside. Because it's a real image. So real images are always upside down, and they form on the opposite side of the lens. Okay, let's show how to set up these ray diagrams. So first of all, you're going to be drawing things. Second of all, you have to use a straight edge. Like, yeah, absolutely. Now, if you're like Mr. B, I don't believe in rulers. Okay, that's fine. You have to have a straight edge, preferably a straight edge that you can measure things with. Now, if you don't have a straight edge you can measure things with, find something small that's straight. So, like, for example, you could use... So, for example, you could use, like, I don't know, like an ID card, right? ID cards are fairly small, and you could use that as, so, like, instead of 1 inch, you would do, like, 1 ID card, or 2 ID cards, or 3 ID cards. But you could do something long and flat and straight. So, make sure when you're doing these, I cannot stress enough, if you try to wing it, it will absolutely be wrong. So, like, it'll be wrong. So, like, you have no hope unless you use straight lines. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a straight line across the page. just like that. And that is our principal axis.
This isn't very straight.
Hashtag relatable.
So that's the principal axis. First thing we do, we draw the principal axis. Second thing we do, we draw our lens. Now, it doesn't matter how big your lens is. I draw it about in the middle. I draw it fairly large, but it's not really that important. Also, it doesn't really matter how good a drawer you are at your lens. Okay? So, first thing, draw the principal axis. Second thing, draw the lens. Okay? Third thing, draw a vertical line. This is that normal line I've talked about. So it's a vertical line. It goes right through from the top of your lens through the bottom of your lens. And notice I extended it above and below the lens. So it's basically an infinitely large vertical line at the lens. This is called the refraction point. This is where the light bends. It bends at the line. It does not bend at your lens. Because all your lenses are different. So if it bends at the lens, everyone would get a different answer. So it bends at this vertical line. Okay, so we drew the principal axis. We drew the vertical line. We drew the lens. The last thing that you're going to draw is the focal point. I am going to give you the focal point. I will tell you what it is for a problem. So on the problem we're going to do for the example, it's a focal length of 2 centimeters. So what you do is you get your centimeters out, and you do 2 centimeters on each side of the middle of the lens. Okay? So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, and put a dot here, and 2, 1, 0, and put a dot there. And we're going to call it F and F prime, which is just F with an apostrophe. Now, why do that? Because they're not the same. They're different. And you have to separate them from each other. I find that doing 1 and 2 can sometimes be confusing because it's like which one is 1, which one is 2. F is always the right side of the mirror. Like F is always going to be what side the image is going to form on, generally. So F is on the opposite side for these mirrors, our lenses. For these lenses, it'll be on the front side, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay? F prime is always the opposite focal point. So there you go. There's your setup every single time. Principal axis, draw your lens, vertical line, focal points. Every single problem, that's how you start it. So let's just talk about the directions for drawing the diagrams, and then we'll set you up, and then we'll be good to go. I like to do colors for these. You don't necessarily have to. When we get to the actual drawing, I would suggest doing colors. I think it'll be a lot easier. I'll show you them first, and then what we'll do is I'll show them to you first, and then we'll write the directions from there. So you're going to have some object. Again, you're going to have to measure it. The first line is going to go parallel. So draw an arrow. It doesn't matter how big your arrow is for right now. You're going to draw a line that's going to go parallel to the principal axis all the way to that vertical line.
How far away was that arrow?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then it's going to go through F. Okay, so notice my first line. First line goes straight, hits that vertical line, and goes through F. Okay?
Mr. B.
Yep.
How high does that have to be?
The arrow?
Doesn't matter.
So doesn't matter. Now, on the problems, will it matter? Yes.
Yeah.
On the problems, where you put this and how big you put it will matter a lot. But for right now, I'm just showing you what the lines look like so we can wrap it up. Here's the second line you'll make. Second line you're going to make is the exact opposite. Instead of going through F second, it's going to go through F prime first. And then it's going to go parallel. So again, it goes through that vertical line, and then it goes parallel. Okay? And then the third one is the easiest. The third one is super easy. Ready? It goes through the middle. Now, if you were careful, you should notice there's a point where all of them meet. And that's your image. Now, I'll give you the directions next time. I'll write them out for you. But this is generally what your image is going to look like. Okay? You're going to have a straight through F prime straight, and then through the middle.
Does that say image?
Yep, this is the image here. This is the object here. Notice, it's upside down, so it's real. It's also on the opposite side of the lens, so it's real. All right, perfect, y'all. We'll pick up here next time. Have a good weekend. All right, so that should put you in pretty good position. And then you got the information for the test correction.
If you want
It
it.
should be good.
You know, I have many different ways.
Yeah.
This
Hey, bring the rulers and just put them back up here for me, please.
When will the test be graded?
I'm going to try to grade them this weekend.
Okay.
I didn't give it to you. Because I'm not getting on my knee. It hurts so bad.
Poor Kaylee.
I know. Thank you. I assumed so. I love these. I love the room one.
Okay. No. Grading. 1, no. 2, definitely. Not selling. No selling? You know, I think 90% of the reason he's making me take this test today is because he's
What percentage of Brian's day today has spent going,
Literally
You
not.
don't understand.
Not until I told him right after.
No, I knew it was going to be a rough day because I've been here for a while. I'm pretty sure 90% of the reason he's making me take the test is because he hates them. And then he also hates when people go on field trips because then they miss class. So it's like a double hate. Like, I've seen him. People go on like zoology field trips and he's like, oh yeah, just get back to me next SRT and you're fine.
hey, nothing is better about being a teacher than being inconsistent.
You
It's
know,
just the most
you know
fun.
What forms diamonds? Pressure.
Ooh.
I love pressure.
Pressing down on
Oh,
me.
that really hurt.
Pressing down on you. No man is fun.
I feel like hearing them say that and sing it, it would be very relaxing.
building down, splits the family in two, puts people on streets. It's an excellent Queen song. It's terrific. Although it's a Queen song, but it features David
Can you
Bowie.
play that on your guitar?
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's super easy. It's the bass is do 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 do. Do, 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 do,
Like
do,
Ice
do.
Ice Baby?
No, Ice Ice Baby is like it.
Oh, that's the song that
I
copies.
see. Maybe it's dun 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 dun.
No, it's
dun.
yeah. That's the only difference. The only difference is like dun 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 dun. Whereas the other ones dun 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 dun. That's the only difference.
Are you singing Ice Ice Baby?
I'm not. That's the point. I'm singing. Here, I'll show you what I'm singing. Oh man.
I know what you're talking about. There's another song that sounds almost the same.